Can you read this text on screen? If so, then you can pass the data annotation test. Stick around to find out how. Welcome back. If it's your first time here, thanks for joining us. Today, I'll be starting a series on how to prepare for various large language model training jobs, which we will call LLMs from here on out. Today's focus is data annotation, if you didn't guess already. We're going to break down the key things you should look for when evaluating AI responses, whether you're rating chatbot answers or just curious about what makes a great reply. These are essential points to keep in mind. First up, satisfying the user's intent. The response should give useful information that matches the primary goal of the user's prompt, and it should stick to any specific instructions given. Next, we want to make sure it is easy to understand. Good responses should be crystal clear. That means organized logically, easy to skim or follow, free of confusion. Next is factuality. Accuracy is everything. Responses should be based on well-known or widely accepted facts. If there's a debate on the topic, it's okay to present different sides, but nothing should be misleading. Then, we want the response to be trustworthy and safe. A great response should never be harmful, offensive, or overly sexual. It should stay neutral, challenge problematic assumptions if needed, and maintain a respectful, helpful tone, not sound salesy, sassy, or preachy. Keeping these 4 pillars in mind, user intent, clarity, factuality, and trustworthiness, and you'll well be on your way to spotting or creating top quality responses. For our first example prompt, we will use what is the Matrix about? Response A. The Matrix is a 1999 science fiction film directed by the Wachowskis, starring Keanu Reeves, Lawrence Fishburne, and Carrie-Anne Moss. The story follows Thomas Anderson, a computer hacker who discovers that reality as he knows it is a simulated world called the Matrix, created by sentient machines to subdue humanity. Anderson, under the hacker alias Neo, joins a group of rebels led by Morpheus, who fight to free humanity from the Matrix. As Neo's journey unfolds, he learns that he may be the One, a prophesized figure capable of ending the war between humans and machines. And then up next for response B we have, The Matrix is a 1999 science fiction film directed by the Wachowskis, starring Keanu Reeves, Christopher Judge, and Carrie-Anne Moss. The story follows Joe Anderson, a computer hacker who discovers that reality as he knows it is a simulated world called the Matrix, created by sentient machines to subdue humanity. Anderson, under the hacker alias Neo, joins a group of rebels led by Morpheus, who fight to free humanity from the Matrix. As Joe's journey unfolds, he learns that he may be the One, a prophesized figure capable of ending the war between humans and machines. So, here's a quick recap of what we're looking for in a great response. First, it needs to satisfy the user's intent, meaning it fully answers the question. Second, it should be easy to understand, clear, and well organized. Third, it must be factual, providing accurate information. Fourth, it needs to be trustworthy and safe, no misleading or harmful content. And fifth, it should avoid being overly wordy, get to the point without dragging on. And finally, it must have proper formatting and grammar to keep it professional and easy to read. Let's go through these step by step and evaluate response A. First, it satisfies the user's intent. It gives a short, clear summary of the correct movie, The Matrix. It's also easy to understand. The information is presented logically, making it simple for anyone to follow. It appears factually accurate, based on well-known and verifiable sources about the movie. Next, there are no obvious formatting or grammar issues. Everything flows properly. Finally, when it comes to trustworthiness and safety, there's nothing harmful, offensive, or misleading at all here, so it passes that check as well. Overall, response A holds up really well across all the key evaluation points. Now, let's move on to response B. And if you're a Matrix fan, you probably spotted the issues right away. While it technically satisfies the user's intent by talking about the right movie, it has some major factual problems. First off, Keanu Reeves. Pretty important guy, right? Though it did spell his last name wrong. Big red flag. Then it lists Christopher Judge in the cast. And guess what? He's not even in the movie. And probably the biggest miss of all, they say Neo's real name is Joe Anderson, when it's actually Thomas Anderson. And that's just to name a few mistakes. So while response B sounds okay on the surface, these errors make it way less reliable and untrustworthy. And finally, the summarization. This gives us an opportunity to explain our thought process to other raters and reviewers. We would say something like, Response A is better because it's more accurate in listing the correct cast and characters for the movie. Followed by Response B makes several factual errors, including the misspelling of Keanu Reeves' name, listing an actor who wasn't in the film, and misnaming Neo's character as Joe Anderson instead of Thomas Anderson. Optionally, depending on the task requirements, to make our case even stronger, we could cite a source like IMDb or Wikipedia to back up our points. Alright, that wraps up today's lesson. We covered a lot, from what makes a great response, to how to spot mistakes like misspelled names, wrong character details, and more. Remember, always think about user intent, clarity, factuality, trustworthiness, and good formatting when you're evaluating. These pillars are your best friend in data annotation and LLM work. If you found this helpful, make sure to stick around. I'll be diving into even more creative prompt breakdowns soon, and showing you how to tackle different types of AI training tasks. Got a tricky question? A prompt you're stuck on? Or something you want me to walk through? Drop it in the comments. I'd love to go over real-world examples with you in the future videos. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time as we keep leveling up your skills for the future of AI. Remember, it's not just the future, it's your future.